This podcast of the hour is brought to you by Alexander Keith's. Those who like it a lot.
Everybody say hello to Mr. Jeff Buttle. Welcome to the show. Great to see you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's I know it's when you interview athletes, you ask them questions, and sometimes they lie in the answers. But in the most honest way you can tell me, did you think you were going to be able to win?
No. Honestly, I had done a competition just before, and although I skated well and came second, the guy ahead of me beat me by a considerable amount of points. So, going in, I just wanted to skate well, and I really didn't think I was going to win.
Well, and it's a tough sport to. I wonder if it's a tough sport to assess your performance, because it's not like you get more points than that guy in terms of scoring goals. It's a much more difficult way to judge. And I wondered if is it the kind of thing where you look after that last event and you go, I skated my best skate. I don't know what I can do here. Right.
There's always something. That's what makes our sport maybe confusing when you see the scores. It's not just get the puck in the net, you get a point. It doesn't work that way. There's so many little things where you can get, different points. So we sit down after every event and listen to the judges, and they say, well, you could have got more here, you could have got more here, and then we go back and try and get more there.
Mm-hmm. But after your skate going into this one here, had you changed anything? Did you try something new?
Yeah, we changed the order of the jumps a little bit, try and make it more comfortable, and I think it paid off.
Well, for a long time, skating became about the jumps, didn't it? You got there's criticism because you didn't land, you didn't even do the quad. Right. And look, I'm like, I know what a quad is. But you didn't do that. And is it just that the way the sport is being judged is changing now, the way the sport is being perceived?
Yeah, definitely. There was at a point, it became the defining jump. If you had it, then you were in the top group, and if you didn't, then you weren't. And now with the new system, because everything has a point value, and you can accumulate those points in other areas other than the quad. If you do everything else really well, you might do okay. And that was a perfect example at the World Championships.
It also appears, and when I watch it, it appears like a really lonely sport, in that you have all these people around, and it's in your head. And then you have that moment, you skate out, you have to do the thing. What do you think about when you do that?
That's the worst part, is that skate out when they call your name, those couple minutes. I talk to myself, and it's not as lonely when you talk to yourself. And you can actually probably see it when you watch a video. My lips are moving. And
what do you say?
Usually I say, this is your event. In the past, I had troubles with sort of.
Were you like, this is their event? This is their event?
No. With staying focused, actually. Yeah, my mind would wander. I'm just making sure that I stay focused.
I wonder how you apply that over the years. A lot of figure skaters start young, and you're a man now as opposed to a boy. And when you get out there, is it a different event skating onto that ice in your mid-20s as opposed to when you were much younger?
Yeah, I feel like I've gained a lot of confidence, for one thing, and the experience. The first time I went there, out on the ice, I remember, gripping onto the boards, not wanting to skate in front of 10,000 people, and who knows how many were watching on TV. I just didn't want to go, but, my coach sort of gave me that push, and, after that, you just gain experience.
I wonder, will it be different for you going into the Olympics when you came in and you surprised a lot of people. I don't even think people on your team thought you were going to do it, right? You didn't think you were going to do it.
Right.
So you win this. Mm-hmm. No one was watching for you. You go to the Olympics as a world champ. Is that a different event for you now?
I think it just gives me a lot of confidence. I think I can now go back to my training and just really push myself and know that I'm there. I'm at the top right now, and all I have to do is keep getting better and stay there.
It's easier said than done, though, isn't
it? It really is. Okay, so maybe there'll be training involved somewhere in between there.
I always wonder for the Olympics, too, especially if you've been doing it for a long time, can you overthink an event? Can you overtrain?
Well, that's what the coaches are for, about the overtraining, making sure that, we're training smart. Overthinking, absolutely. In the sport, if you overthink it, then, more often than not, you're toast. I think you just get to the point where you train the program so well that when you get on the ice, when I was on the ice at Worlds, I wasn't thinking about anything. It was just about clearing my mind and letting my body know what it needs to do.
Is it that clear when you're out there?
It can be.
Because, I watch the sport, and I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that moment when, especially with the jumps, when you watch, one of the most painful things I think in all pro sports is when the skater goes in the air and they land, and sometimes it's not a great landing, and they fall, and which is fine, that's sport.
Yeah.
But tell me about that moment when the skater gets up and they put on that, you know, you have to put on that fake smile. And that fake smile is the most lonely smile in all of sports. You've done that smile, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely. And it looks really awkward because I can assure you that we do not have that smile on our face in training. Usually you hear a lot after that. But yeah, I mean, you get up, that's the hardest part. That's how you gain experiences, by going to the competitions, and then, yeah, of course you fall, and then you have to pick yourself up and pretend like you didn't. And I mean, that's really what you have to do, and then focus on the next jump so you don't fall on that one too.
You know, there is a long legacy of Canadian skaters doing really well, both men's and women's around the world, and I wondered, it's kind of a loaded question, but do you find this to be a nurturing organization? Because it seems like a very competitive organization. Yeah,
we've definitely, you know, we've had a reinsurgence of new and great people in our federation, and they've been awesome, really supportive. And, you know, in past years with my competitors, I think it's great to have a rivalry. I think it's great. And, you know, domestically, to have that kind of push before you compete internationally, I think it's great. I was hoping to, you know, be able to use that with Emmanuel, and then, you know, surprisingly and very soon, I had that now with Patrick, which is great.
So you're saying you didn't have it with Emmanuel?
I just didn't. It didn't become what I hoped it would. I don't know how to explain how it didn't.
But do you need a rival to push yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I've learned that with, you know, I've trained at excellent facilities with excellent skaters, and that's very motivating. But at the same time, you get to a point where you're like, you know, it has to come from inside, obviously. So I've also trained at places where there's been no one, and I'm okay with that too. What
do you think of the idea that, I mean, a lot of people are talking about owning the podium, right, in this program, where I guess the Canadian, you know, Olympic organization, it's not just the committee, but the different sports get money based on where we have the best shot at winning, and with the right athletes. I mean, what do you think of a program like that? And have you benefited from that?
I have definitely benefited from that. I'm not going to lie, figure skating is very expensive, and you know, if I didn't have the help from that, I know that my parents would probably be working 3 jobs each, and you know, at one point they were doing that. But I've been very fortunate to have that sort of financial support from the government, and you know, I don't really know much about the system itself, but I just know that it helps and that I need it.
Kapuskasing, Smooth Rock Falls, London, Ontario, Timmins, Ontario, Barrie, Ontario. You have all these home towns in a sense. When you skate, are you skating for them too? There's a lot of people who watch you now.
Yeah, you know, when I skate, I feel like I've benefited from all of the people in those cities along the way. I started skating in Kapuskasing. I started competing when I lived in London. I went to nationals for the first time with my coach from Sudbury, and I got all my triples with my coach in Barrie. So, I mean, every single city that I've lived in has offered me something.
You got the medal? Where's the medal?
Oh yeah, I did. The medal in my back pocket.
There you go. There's your world champion. You're not getting it back. What can I get on eBay for this? Do you have any? Congratulations, man. Yeah. It's great to see you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you,
everybody. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh wait, let me ask you a question. You have fans here who are wearing your T-shirts, right? Yes. And when we had Josh Groban on the show, a similar thing happened, and their fans were called Grobanites. Okay. What do we call Buttle fans? You don't want to call them buttheads. You don't do that.
Buttle buddies.
Buttle buddies.
Yeah.
Buttle buddies sounds like a crime. Buttle buddies, really?
Yeah, they're so supportive it could be criminal. So.
There you go. Buttle buddies, everybody. The world champ of figure skating. When the hour returns, my friends, we go to the newsstand with these guys.